We're previewing NFL Week 8 here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Swingin Johnson, SBR contributor. Swingin, how you doing?
Loshak, baby! You know, Loshak, before we get started, I got to tell you, I got an email from you that came in at about 2 o'clock this morning. I hooked this thing up, and long after I had tucked my little tuchus into bed, and I could only imagine you buried knee-deep in the statistical minutia of the very games we're going to be discussing today. And that's exactly what makes Peter Loshak the very best at what he does.
Actually, not the games we were discussing today. It was upcoming college football games. That's what I'm, because I had a very good week last week. And, when you get a taste of that, you're like, all right, if I do my best and put my, all of my brain into this, I can do it again. And so I'm giving it my best shot once again this week. That's what I'm spending most of my time doing this week.
Well, that's a really great story, but I'm really, Loshak, come on, midget strippers, magicians, farm animals, what was really going on last night?
I don't know, man. Something's weird. I feel like the entire world is like coming up on that December 21st, 2012 deadline, because a lot of weird stuff happening.
Mayan calendar, man. What do you think?
Things are getting weird, man. They're starting to get weird. All right, and I'll tell you what struck me in the NFL this week that's getting really weird. No Maurice Jones-Drew for this game, the Jacksonville Green Bay game, right?
Jacksonville, Green Bay, absolutely right. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, the question here is by how many points do the Packers win? Because Jacksonville, arguably, and I don't know who's arguing, the worst team in the NFL. But don't you just feel as though Green Bay is really pissed that they've already lost 3 games? I mean, maybe they lose 3 games in the entire season. But dropping their opening game of the season at home, no less, to the Niners, which I guess is understandable because Frisco's got a good team, but then losing to the Seahawks and the Colts, it's craziness, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, weird stuff. As if things weren't weird enough, now no Maurice Jones-Drew for Jacksonville. I don't know. Green Bay's a 16-point home favorite, 45.5. I don't know how you handicap this game. I mean, obviously the first thing you think of when you see this is, Jacksonville is a NFL team. You know what I mean? How can you have any? I don't care who's playing. I don't care if you got the third stringers or whatever. Should any NFL team really ever be a 16-point underdog to any other NFL team? I don't know. Maybe they should.
I'll tell you what. You're thinking exactly what I was thinking when I first saw this game, and I said, "Geez, man, I'm thinking the line's going to be about 13." And then I'm saying, but the odds makers are so reluctant to harness any NFL team with double digits. But I mean, if you're ever going to do it, this is the game. And now they're, MJD is out, they're 16-point favorites. And I'm thinking, on one hand, you look at that 16, and 16 is probably going to be meaningless as long as you're under the magic number of 17, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. But then again, it's more than 2 touchdowns. So, look, we know the Packers are going to win, but by how much? And are they going to get bored and just call off the dogs? I mean, that's the biggest thing with me. I mean, if you look at Aaron Rodgers lately, though, man, he has been a beast over the last 4 games, completing over 71% of his passes, averaging 308 yards, 16 touchdowns, Loshak, and only 2 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable,
I'm not even sure if this is a game where the numbers matter. You know what it reminds me of? I swear to God. Swingin Johnson, you remember how I was the Beat the Prick champion one year at SBR, right? The last year they allowed me to be eligible,
right?
Buddy,
I do.
Remember
Absolutely.
that? All right, now that at the very last week of Beat the Prick, right, I had made all my picks. I was in the lead. And the guy in second place had to pick. He was waiting. All the strategy happened. The guy in second place wound up having one more pick that he had to make to try to beat me. And it wound up being a New England Patriots game. I'll never forget it. And I think the Pats it was a spread like this. It wasn't quite 16, but it was something like that, like 14 and a half, something like that. And the guy, he basically had to take a shot. If he picked it right, he won. If he lost against the spread, I won. And of course, he picked the Pats minus 14 and a half or something like that. And of course, what happened? The Pats didn't even cover. Didn't even come close, I don't think.
Yeah. And, that's when you look at it in a game like this, that all the squares are lining up on Green Bay, and there's a part of you that's saying, I don't want to be a square. I want to be a sharp. I really and truly do. I want to bet Jacksonville just so I can say I bet them after they cover and just bask in the sharpness that is me. But you know what? I'm telling you what, man. Call me Joe Q Public. I'm back in the pack in this one.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm telling you, from my Beat the Prick experiences, I will never forget it. I sat there and I was like, oh, God, he's going to pick the Patriots and he's going to win. And he picked the Patriots, and I was sitting there waiting for the game to start. And then it just sort of came into me. It dawned on me. I was like, you know what? He picked the wrong side here. I think he fell into the trap. I think I'm going to win this. And I did. I'm going with Jacksonville, plus 16 here, Swingin.
Okay, baby. Sounds good.
Thanks.